Hey guys, it's Alex from 7th Hour Films, back again with Death Note. Last time on Death Note, we had Assault. So basically, Kira held Sakura TV hostage so that it could deliver a message, or he could deliver a message, excuse me. So yeah, basically it was a confrontation with L to an extent. Saying like, hey, I'm trying to build this new world. I need all the police to cooperate. L and the police obviously did not cooperate. And, it was a pretty action-packed episode, actually. And at the end, we actually cut back to Light, finally, and it was revealed that wasn't Light. That wasn't Light doing that. That was an imposter Kira. Someone else who has been given a death note by a Shinigami and is basically going to try to team up with Kira. Although Light's not really looking for a partner on this, The only issue is this person clearly has the Shinigami eyes, which make them a bit more of a threat to Light, because they can easily figure out a name, and if they see his face, it's kind of over if he really opposes her. And then at the end, we saw this teenage girl, basically, that is the new Kira, basically. So yeah, it was a very intense episode, and now we're going to be moving on, see how Light deals with, how Light and L deal with this imposter. We'll have to see. This is where I say no spoilers. Also, this is where I say, if you want to watch my reaction to this episode of Death Note, it's not in this video, unfortunately, due to copyright reasons. But if you go to the link in the description or to the pinned comment on this video in the comments section, there is a link. It'll take you to my nice highlight reaction where, all the footage is in the corner and it's nice and good and edited. And you can watch that. You can hopefully have a good time. And when you're done with that, you can head on back over here to the discussion, because it's always important that you watch the discussion. So yeah, with that being said, let's get right into this episode of Death Note. Here we go. Okay. This is an interesting development. She's definitely an interesting character already. Mostly because it's like she's screwed up. Well, maybe even not. Maybe she's not. I mean, she's screwed up that she believes in Kira, but she's not quite to the level of, screwed up that Light is. Cause see, the problem is Light's such a fucking downer. She is so interesting. And so she was the one. Jealous fell in love with her and extended her life. But that was a completely different girl in the flashback. But, I don't know. This is a very interesting development we have now, because I don't know, it's so interesting too, because it's like the first half of this was, kind of serious and stuff, and then we got the friggin' love story and Misa. We got Misa, and then I like too at the end, they're playing this kind of happy, kind of romantic music, and it shows her, and she's like, I wonder what kind of guy Kira is, and then it cuts back to Light, and the romantic music is still playing. He's like, I wonder what kind of person this new Kira is. I must eliminate him permanently. It's like, chill the fuck out. It's such a it incredibly highlights the difference between the two of them. So, okay, I guess she's not really a teenager. She must be, a young adult, but I wonder how old is she really? How old is she? which I guess she might actually be older than Light. It actually just came back to my mind. It's like, oh yeah, Light is still, a teenager. He's maybe, okay, he did just start college, so maybe he's 18 or 19, maybe younger, because of how smart he is. I don't know. Maybe he got into college earlier, but I don't know. But but yeah, that's that's interesting. It's definitely an interesting development. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but shouldn't they be able to see each other's Shinigami? Or is it when you touch a Death Note, you're only able to see that particular Shinigami? I don't know, man. Shinigami are so interesting. This is a crazy episode, man. All right, so let's just go through the notes. The first thing I wrote down was clear light. So if he came to the conclusion that this was a second Kira, it basically, to L, cleared all suspicion of him being Kira. Because, he would want... Because in his mind, why would he pass up a chance for L to die at the hands of the other Kira? Which, to be fair, we're still technically leading to, We're still leading to that. Light even says, okay, we can keep going. L will die. And without L, really nothing stands in his way, So he is still on track, but that's the... I don't know, it's still him, though. And that's the thing, maybe the one thing L hasn't thought about is, what if Kira doesn't want an ally, doesn't want, basically a sidekick? Because it's interesting, it's like L hasn't figured out that this does go against what Kira would want. It's like Light was thinking, it's this is amateur hour, basically. It's watching those tapes, he was infuriated, which is actually, it's funny, it's funny how he thinks, this second Kira, Misa, is an amateur when it comes to being Kira. So, it's definitely interesting, I have to say. So, yeah. And yeah, that was the other thing I wrote down was amateur hour. That is hilarious that he actually hates how bad Misa is at being Kira. That's funny. So yeah. The next thing I wrote down was, oh, Misa, you stupid girl. She revealed the Shinigami. Because, she says, I know you don't have the eyes. And, Light's starting to panic. He's like, shit, don't do it. Don't say it. And it's like, we can show each other our Shinigami. And it's like, and that is crazy that L freaked the fuck out. He freaked the fuck out at the possibility of the Shinigami being real. That was crazy, watching him have such an emotional outburst, which he never has, So, that was crazy. That was really crazy. And especially, too, because it's not just that, they mentioned the Shinigami, but also the fact that Kira had alluded to the Shinigami previously in the messages that the prisoners wrote. So, yeah, that would freak out L. It's like, the Shinigami might be real. But they did... Light kind of sort of backtracked them all. It's like, maybe that's just what they call their power, They call their power Shinigami. So, yeah, that was crazy. And it's interesting to watch Light now in this with L and the other officers. That is interesting to, watch him. He has to deduce all this, but he also still has to do all of this as Kira, It's like he wrote a script. He actually wrote a script for a fake message from Kira despite the fact that he is Kira, and I love that. You know? I really do love that he is literally on the investigative team against him, and he's going to use it to his advantage to take out the false Kira, who we got a reveal on. We got a little bit of Misa and Rem. Very, very different from Light and Ryuk. But yeah, we got Misa, this young pretty model who believes in Kira, but is a fucking amateur about it, apparently. So that was interesting. And, yeah, now, again, correct me if I'm wrong, there was another Shinigami. That's the thing I'm still waiting for. It's like, there was another Shinigami that was going to take a closer look at what Ryuk was doing. But this is not that Shinigami, so it's like, are we still waiting on that? I don't know. But yeah, I'm sorry, I keep clicking my pen like an asshole. But yeah, so we got more of Misa and Rem in this one, which was pretty cool. And so, okay, and I guess the story about Jealous does make sense, because it's like, you know, oh, this person, there's a human that had fallen in love with her, and, you know, was crazy, and it's like, oh, but she had never met him. And it's like, oh, well, it must be from, you know, being a model, this guy, you know, found pictures of her and fell in love with her. So that does make sense. And it's interesting, like, you know, the only way to kill a Shinigami is by love. Basically, yeah, the only way to kill a Shinigami is when their death is prevented. Or no, when they prevent a human's death and accidentally add to their life instead of, you know, just taking their lives or shortening their lifespan. You know, if they actually save a person with the Death Note, then they just die. That's just how it works. That's interesting, I will say. It makes you wonder, like, would it be possible for Light to do the same, you know? And, you know, Rem also said that, I made these worse, damn it, I hate when I do that. Rem also said that, you know, all of the years that, Jealous had accumulated from killing humans was added to the girl's life, and now we have the reveal that was Misa. So Misa is going to live a lot longer than she was supposed to. So that's interesting. And I guess, you know, I was saying, it's like, okay, well, that was clearly a different girl. You know, she looked completely different, but I was mainly going off of the hair because, if I can kind of bring this up real quick. A bit further back. Well, I don't know if I'm going to get it quite right. Because I swear it was different hair on... Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I feel like her hair was... Yeah, her hair was dark. I suppose... Now, granted, you know, I kind of thought of it like, okay, well, she is a model. I guess she could just be... she could just have, you know, changed her hair color since then. But yeah, that would be interesting. It is interesting because, you know, they revealed that was her. Her life was extended, and thus, because of this, Rem took Jealous's Death Note and then gave it to Misa, who now is the new Kira, basically. So, yeah, that's all interesting. This does add a completely new dynamic to this, where L has to figure out Kira and the new Kira. Light now has to try to get rid of L and get rid of the new Kira, while also being careful not to reveal that he is Kira to L. You know, it's this great. Now that basically the chess game has added a new player. You know, it's like the chess game has added a new player, and one of the players has gotten a new ally, but doesn't realize that his ally is his enemy, is his original opponent. You know, it's such a crazy dynamic we have now. But yeah, all of it very fascinating. We're gonna have to see how Light will deal with this new Kira, who is, you know, still pretty dangerous because she has the eyes, and she's already fucking blabbing about it on fucking national television. God damn it, Misa, you're gonna ruin this. She's gonna end this man's whole career. So yeah, that's pretty much all I got. Another great episode, and I'm excited to move on to the next one. So with that all being said, I'm Alex from 7th Hour Films, and I will see you guys next time. Take care. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. If you want to watch more of my Death Note reactions, you can click on the playlist, you can subscribe if you haven't done that already, and be sure you hit that notification bell. You can support me on Patreon and follow me on social media, links below in the description. See you guys later.